I like the analogy, the imagery of fruit. And Jesus seems to go to that often. The Apostle Paul talks about spiritual fruit. And we know in nature, in God's creation, anything that's alive and healthy reproduces. If something's alive and it's not reproducing itself, we would say, something's off, something's wrong, right? If it's in the world of botany, you have an apple orchard and all your trees are just heavy with apples in the fall and the branches look like they're about to break off because they're just laden with fruit. And there's one tree and either it has no apples or the apples are tiny. And, if it's not reproducing, we would say something's wrong with that tree. Or maybe it's just even one branch on the tree. And I think that imagery is really helpful. Jesus says, I'm the vine, you're the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will produce fruit. That fruit production is just a natural byproduct of that connection. And I think what Jesus is telling us is if we remain spiritually connected to himself, that God through the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit is in the reproduction business.
Yeah.
And so then we kind of look more generally to, is this a person who's reproducing spiritual fruit that has kind of the same DNA, if you will, that we see from Jesus in his life lived out. Paul talks about the fruit of the Spirit and then gives us a list, right? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, and so on. I think we can look at a person's life, and while we may not be able to measure how peaceful is this person and put it on a scale, we can start to see overall, if we step back and look at the general picture of this individual's kind of character and personhood and approach to life, we say there's definitely fruit here. This is a person of kindness, of gentleness, of peace. This person who loves others well. Then you can say, okay, there seems to be some health there. Now, can we measure it? That's a lot more difficult. So I think there are ways to look generally at spiritual health. To define it,
yeah,
it is a little harder